Okay, welcome back everyone. We will now talk about data analytics in esports. Our next presenter is Dominika Szot, the marketing manager at Grid. Grid is a game data platform where Dominika oversees academic partnerships, market innovation, and develops community initiatives. In her talk, she will touch upon how we can source, distribute, and monetize live data with the Grid data platform. So Dominika, the stage is yours.
Thank you. I wrote that and it sounds like I have a lot to cover, but let's see. So, hello everyone. Let's see if I know how it works. Good. So I'm actually head of marketing at Grid, but the scope is exactly the same. For over the last 7 years and a bit, I've been working at the intersection of games and technology. So before joining Grid, had a chance to work at Huawei, where I overseen gaming verticals for Central Eastern Europe, and then previously working for a few game publishers and studios, mostly from Poland, cooperating with CD Projekt Red. So some of you probably are familiar with the name, at least thanks to Witcher or Cyberpunk. And now I'm at Grid, and Grid is a game data platform, and that's what I would like to focus on today. So as part of my responsibilities, I'm in charge of ecosystem growth and community building, academic partnership, and innovative projects. And I'm really happy to be here because it's unusual place to speak about, well, it's unusual to have a place to speak, or platform to speak about game data. So without further ado, let's move to that. Before we'll dive in to understand what live esports data is and how it can be understood as part of game IP, let me tell you a bit about Grid. So we are a game data platform. We provide infrastructure and distribution services to game publishers and rights holders in gaming and esports. We've built everything internally, and we have a bit of a secret sauce to make it unique and to make sure that we are doing something that benefits the industry, but I'll tell you more about that during the presentation. And let's say the key part of our mission is to deal only with official data. And how to source official data and why is it crucial? So we're partnering with the rights holders in the industry. We work with Riot Games, with Krafton, and with Ubisoft. And we're also working with Valve ecosystem, so Counter-Strike and Dota, with the rights holders that are being appointed by Valve. So we play IMG, PGL, those are the companies that oversee the data rights in Valve ecosystem. And we provide them with infrastructure and then with distribution solutions. Infrastructure allows us to get this data from the game server, and distribution solutions allows us to distribute that, as the name suggests, to partners integrated with our platform. And among those partners, we have 6 use cases listed here. So VR experiences can be enhanced with real-time data from esports tournaments. Virtex is working together with Riot Games, and they're working now on the solution that allows to bring Valorant statistics synchronized with live stream to increase accessibility of the game, make sure that everyone who watches the game can understand what's happening exactly on the screen. Then media, so Ghost to Gamers, regulated betting, integrity, streaming, and virtual games. Those are just a couple of use cases, but the number of these different use cases that are powered by game data is growing. We're pretty new to the market, so we've been around for 5 years, and most of you probably have never heard of us because we're more of a, let's say, backstage agent providing these solutions to the largest names in the industry. And I've been telling you about Grid and about us handling data, but what type of data do I have in mind? Well, game data. So if you think about esports titles, they consist of certain mix of modules, capabilities, and abilities of characters and the environment itself that constitutes the foundation of competitiveness of these titles. And all of them together during the game, they generate thousands of data points. And these data points can be related to map coordinates, to kill, death assists, ability usage. Generally, everything that happens on the game server can be considered a data point. And these data points, once they are sourced from the game server, they can be organized and turned into data feeds. And a couple of data feeds that we're dealing with are listed on this slide. So live data is data directly sourced in real time from the game server of the competition. So let's say there is a Counter-Strike tournament, we're plugged into the game server, we source data from the platform and distribute that immediately to the network of integrated partners. Then we have central data, so everything that doesn't happen in real time, names of tournaments, names of players, tournament schedule, etc. Historical data is based on live and central data combined. So once the game concludes, then we turn that into an aggregated version of data feed that obviously requires less support from the platform and takes up less space. Statistics is real-time, another real-time developed feed that is based on real-time data and provides statistics that can give a bit more context about what is happening in the game at the given moment. And then predictions obviously is based on the combination of historical and statistics data and allows us to, well, possibly predict what can happen in the future. This is particularly important, for example, for betting industry, because that allows them to improve the odds and make sure that they have more insights to schedule their offering in the future. Okay, so we have a bit of an understanding of what this esports data is, live data, historical, central, etc. But why is it even important to talk about that? So to give you a bit of a context, sports data in traditional sports is kind of a big topic and a massive revenue stream for any organization that enters into a partnership with platform that is similar to ours, but designed for traditional sports. So you can think of NFL and Genius Sports, or you can think of NBA and Sports Radar. These are, I think, the landmark partnerships for the industry when it comes to traditional sports. And over the time, the last decade essentially, they've become an essential part of the league and essential part of the revenue model for these particular leagues. So a revenue model for these particular leagues. And on the basis of this data, next to the new revenue stream, also a new wave of innovation is enabled. Because as you can see, even on these slides, and these are not the latest example, but you can also download the NBA app or any sort of different companion app that is officially available for these leagues. Everything's powered with real-time data and constitutes now the part of official sports experience. And the funny thing is that such a big market, so much money, everyone's excited about data in traditional sports. Yet still, if you think about the methods, how to collect this data, you'll go to the football game or to the basketball game, and then on the side of the pitch, you'll see someone with either a phone with a special app or with like a special type of a device, just clicking. A human sitting on the line and clicking, you know? So I wouldn't say that's the most advanced option to collect data, but that's the official way of doing that. And you'd have those scouts, because that's how they are called. If they are, for example, at the NBA game, and these are scouts from Sports Radar, they would probably be in the VIP zone or some sort of a place that is very comfortable, and they can enjoy extra benefits of being an official data partner. But in the same time, at the same venue, exactly using the same methods, you probably have 10 different scouts from unofficial unofficial companies that are also collecting data, which, well, are not really much different to what this official partner is collecting through his device. And these unofficial data feeds in traditional sports are not really that different from the official ones, yet still the official are extremely expensive to acquire and bring certain prestige with that. And if you think about esports in the context of what I've just said, esports is digital by nature. So naturally, there is one source of truth to everything that's going on in the game. And if you think about that, let's look at the map of Dota. if you get data from official source, so from the game server, you'll see this entire map. And during the game of Dota, things are happening on the entire map. Top line, bottom line, mid line, you know, both sides when you need to destroy your opponent's, let's say, headquarter. Everything, everywhere at once. And if you use unofficial sources, and most likely the unofficial sources used in esports are based on scrapping the video streams that are publicly available. Those video streams are delayed, so they are not distributed in real time because of the integrity reasons. You can allow someone to have real-time data and then go on the betting website and just bet against the house and probably win a house for its own. But if you use this type of unofficial streams, then you only see a portion of what's happening in the game. And that might be like this little corner of the entire map. So striking difference, right? And that's why it's super important in esports to understand that with this one source of truth, the endorsement of rights holders and recognition of rights holders in the value chain is very different than it is in the case of traditional sports. And in order to make sure that what is happening on the game server is captured well because of its digital nature, you need the right set of tools to make sure that you get it right. And that's where we come in. And successfully for the last 5 years, we've managed to build a platform that enables to be this magical portal in between. So you have a game, everything happens on the game server, and you have this entire data-reliant ecosystem. All the use cases, all the use cases that were presented on the previous slides and multiple more are actually available, are actually connected to the platform. And thanks to the infrastructure, we can get it on the platform and then distribute that. And in between, we also don't leave our partners, wandering in the darkness. We have support for both the game publisher, rights holders, but also the users of data, which is also considerable. It's a big value because you do still have unofficial data in the space when it comes to esports. But in order to get it, in order to build product that can rely on this data feed, this is not a sustainable model for anyone who really seriously think about building something that they would like to turn into a business in the future. Because these data feeds, well, we can call them unofficial, but they're actually illegal. So they can be shut down overnight, and there is absolutely zero support from any sort of rights holder to these companies and to these businesses, and it's way harder to get on the radar with anyone that you'd like to cooperate with. And then last but not least, because what we're doing, it's quite niche, and whoever is partnering with us has to have a bit of the belief or faith that this is something that can unlock potential in their ecosystem. And thanks to our experience working at the intersection of data, games, betting, technology, I think altogether we have, someone said that once in my team, that I had 100 years of collective experience. So not really, the most compelling thing if you think about the young industry, but actually something very important if you think about the innovative space that you need to learn how to navigate. So we help our partners to do it right and to make sure that they enable data in the way that is accessible to communities, to data clients, to data consumers. Also, with the respect to the integrity of the game, ensuring that both the technology and the partners, they're not prone to any sort of regulatory breaching or anything like that. And if you want to read more about the thesis and the technology behind the platform, I only have 20-something minutes, so I will not bore you with details, but you can take it from our CTO and get to our blog and read more about data infrastructure and technological details. Moving forward, this is just a breakdown of what I've described. So when it comes to infrastructure, we have a set of APIs turned into an SDK that can be automatically plugged into the game server. I think our record integration was with Valorant. We've done it in 2 weeks. So essentially from the moment that they got SDK code and put that on the on the game server, the basic data was available to customers in 2 weeks. And of course, you have abilities and you have different elements of the game that can be added afterwards, but the basics are there. And then the distribution, support, marketing I've covered, but this part is particularly important, why we've managed to do that in only 2 weeks, and what does it mean that there is a set of basic data. So Grid Data Platform is built in a title agnostic manner, which means that we have a set, like a framework of predefined data points that are applicable to essentially all genres and all titles in the games. So every game has to start, every game has to finish or end. Then you have some kills, whether that's in the FPS where it's way more obvious, or MOBA game, a kill is a kill. And you can also apply the same data point format to, let's say, crashing a car of an opponent in the racing game, or hitting someone in the fighting game. So there is a set of predefined data points that allows us to map the game super quickly and make sure that if we already have Counter-Strike integrated, then Valorant's a matter of 2 weeks. If we have FPS, MOBA, and racing game on our platform, then integrating another genre might take up to a month. But generally, these modules are replicable across different genres. And once again, a little QR code, so you can read more about title agnostic framework if you want to. So just to sum it up, what is this journey of a data point? Let's take Atlanta Major, so Rainbow Six tournament organized in Atlanta, I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago. The game starts, game server generates data points, our SDK is plugged into this game server, we source data in real time. In real time, they are being converted into feed, where live feed in this case, and then they are being stored for the purpose of other data feeds. Then they are transferred into the product frameworks, and these product frameworks are organized to create portals. And portals is our way of interacting with end customers. So as you can see in these groups, you can have data portal for a developer. So by developer, in this case, we mean someone from community of the game, or any developer interested in working with game data and building their own products on the basis of data that we enable. Then competitive scene, so anyone who's playing competitively, depends on the game publishers, obviously, whether this portal is enabled or not, but we've released that for Valorant last year, so anyone who's working with, who's playing in Valorant franchise can actually log into this portal, get data from their past performance in the tournaments or from the Scream games. Scream games are the games that they're playing on the specifically designed game servers where they can practice before the tournaments. Super important for this data to be securely fenced and has massive strategic value for the teams. So it's actually an interesting way of reusing infrastructure that was built for betting for the purpose of protecting data for competitive players. Then we have esports production, so any sort of additional enhancements for live streams or for offline events can be also built through that portal. Marketing team, obviously for the purpose of any sort of statistics and post-game analysis, this is a great source of information and engagement value for the community. And then talents, so improving the quality of post-game analysis from the studio, making sure that they have the right tools and they have a proper way of visualizing that as well. So I'll stop here about the infrastructure, and I want to tell you more about different ways of using this data in specific games ecosystem. And we've covered a bit the commercial distribution, so you already know that there are multiple use cases, but there are also different ways of using this type of data within the ecosystem of the game that may not necessarily bring commercial value from the very beginning, but can lead to create additional commercial value, engage fans, or simply create some sort of unique proposition for anyone interested in entering esports scene. The first thing is what we've launched last year. It's called Grid Open Access, and essentially all of you can log in there and get access to data for free and start building anything they would like to build using this specific data type. And we've launched that last year. We currently support over 200 projects across multiple categories. And I'm particularly fond when it comes to this project because it's great to see what community can come up with. And we have users from community, we have users from academic and scholastic area, we have independent developers who just want to build new projects. We have some fans groups that I know met on Reddit, and they decided to apply because they just want to do something together and build connections within the ecosystem that they're operating in. Then the next thing is something that we've realized was essential to increase the awareness of open access and also help people to understand better how they can build using official data, what is the difference between official and unofficial data, how to discover it, and then, of course, also incentivize them with the proper prize pool. So over the summer, we've launched a hackathon, and we're planning to launch more in the future, where we invited Opera GX and Esports Insider to create specific categories and invite fans of esports, but also developers interested in working with data, to build something that they feel can enhance esports ecosystem, or in case of Opera GX category, be integrated within the Opera browser in the future. And I must say we were pretty successful with this one. So we had over 800 participants across 150 countries. They've submitted more than 30 projects, and thanks to that activation, we also managed to increase the user base of open access by 13% in less than in slightly over a month. And here are a few projects that were built during this specific hackathon. So the first prize actually was awarded to a single developer from India who built this platform that allows you to interact with real-time data. So he built a visualization, but then on top of that, he also integrated some sort of conversational agent that you could interact with to get additional insights on the base of this data, which was a really cool application and built in slightly less than 2 weeks. And then the second prize was awarded to the FlankBet. So FlankBet is a micro betting platform, and it's actually something that big players in the industry tried to build for, I don't know, now maybe 2 years, and they didn't really manage to do that. So essentially you can bet on micro events in the game. So not necessarily on the general outcome of the game, but the small actions like which gun the player will use in the next round, or how much health they will lose in the next 1 or 2 minutes. So this is like a very engaging way of betting for esports fans, and he also integrated that with, I think, some meta wallet. And the last example is something that I've mentioned previously. So we've launched that, I think, earlier this year, together with Riot Games. Is actually the first data portal for FPS game. So any franchise team from Valorant can now log in there, get data, easily downloadable, different data formats from the match history viewer, and they can also access the games from their screen practice. So anything that they try to, they want to try out, they want to match against the other teams that they have the agreement with to scrim, they can securely do that on the platform. It's being used by some of the big names in the esports industry, so 100 Thieves, Loud, Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, they all are using this tool right now. And here are a few more screenshots from that platform. So we also give the teams access to analysis console, what means that they don't only get data feeds, raw data feeds, but they also get some sort of solution to get like this initial grasp of what's going on with data. And even if they don't have a specialist on the team who's educated and prepared to work with raw data formats, they can also benefit from that and have some sort of insight even at this stage. So yeah, that brings me to the conclusion, and something that if I were to leave you with something, I think this is the main takeaway from what we've been doing so far is everyone's aware and agree on the fact that lore or audio or visual part of the game is something that should constitute and be understood as a game IP. But then all of this wouldn't be possible without data, and all of it is actually based on data. And data should also have its recognition as a part of game IP and can also contribute to this unique fan experience that all the players are getting globally and enjoy every day. And we want to make sure that we make it easier for them to unlock its potential. And that's it for me. Thank you very much.